Hey, it's Joseph. Not Marcus this time. Who is Marcus? Marcus is a made-up character, a pen name, we might say. In 2021, I was just fed up, work from home, pandemic, and there were a lot of books I liked reading by young men who published anonymously. So I started thinking I could be like them, and I came up with the name Marcus Edwards, and that was going to be the book I was going to write, and I talked about it once a long time ago. And then when I realized that the book wasn't the right move, I thought maybe video would be the right thing to work on. And so I made the YouTube channel as Marcus Edwards, and that was at the beginning of 2022, and I resolved to make one video every week for that entire year. Now, that kind of fell short, and that's how we got to where we are today. But exactly why I took up the mantle of Marcus Edwards is a story, and why I'm kind of setting it down as of late, because I've made no videos, I'm sure you've seen, and I'd like to talk about why that is. So I recorded my first few videos, the audio at least, for that Tea in the Dark series I did in January 22, and the reason I recorded those is because I was home alone on New Year's. Now, my family was planning to go to Hawaii. What a treat, this being during pretty much the peak of the pandemic that led to there being certain requirements for how that travel was going to go. Back then it was true, and today it's still true. I am not vaccinated. I'm not interested in that sort of health decision. I didn't get it. I didn't want it. I didn't want it then. I didn't want it now. And at the time, the plan was to visit family in Hawaii, and I was the only member of my family that wasn't vaccinated, and I was not going to be pressured into it in exchange for a tropical vacation. I thought there was going to be no way I could go, but it turns out that in order to make the flight and also be able to be on the islands, you would just need to consent to a test. Now, at the time, given the information we had, I was already privy to the idea that simply being vaccinated was not enough. You could still transfer it to other people. And if we are to trust the tests, then we could think that, okay, well, maybe I, as the one being tested, might be plenty safe. Maybe it would be good enough for the vacation. Unfortunately, it ended up not being the government, but my own family, my own flesh and blood, denying me access to their house where they live. So, despite being the one who would certainly be the least likely to have it because I would be tested frequently. I assumed it would be at least once a week. Despite that, I was denied access to this adventure with my family, both family that I live with now and family that is on that island. So I was right off the government, the powers that be had led to my own family being brainwashed into excluding me from something. And so I started this mission. The goal was to open people's minds and also have a little fun for myself along the way, hopefully be entertaining. So then I started recording, I called myself Marcus Edwards, and I kept on going. Now, the whole reason I wanted to be anonymous from the start is because of ideas like this whole vaccine thing. I don't want to be talking about that, and I don't want to potentially put any mud on my personal name and also my family's name, so I wanted to do everything online as someone else. But what happened with this identity is that I came to wonder, okay, well, when am I Joseph and when am I Marcus? Because Marcus was supposed to be the controversial one, the one who could say stuff without worrying that, I'd get canceled or something. And, I've only got 40-some subscribers, so it doesn't much matter. But I ended up realizing that I wasn't doing much controversial on the channel. Instead, I wanted to put out what made me happy, which more often than not wasn't controversial. A video a week for almost the whole year, and I had a lot of fun with that. It was, and I want to be clear, the channel still is a tool for me. I'm not trying to make money. I'm not directly trying to entertain others. I'm trying to find myself and hopefully also open people's minds along the way, and also hopefully be entertaining. And if I could make money off of it, that would be fantastic. But I've kind of dropped it off as of late because there's a different way I make money. I work, I have a job, and I've been working from home ever since I was hired, because you're not allowed to go to headquarters if you're not vaccinated. Until, miraculously, one day last month, I got an email for the whole company that said, we are dropping the vaccine requirement in order to come to work. Now, most of my employees don't even know that. I don't think they're gonna see this video. I don't know if I'm gonna get canceled. I don't know if they're gonna treat me differently. I hate this whole story. I wish none of this had to happen. The truth is that I've been going into the office as often as I can, sometimes 5 days a week, sometimes 1 day a week. But the point is I have the freedom to do so. So I don't have the freedom to stay at home and plan out these videos and record them and edit them and all that stuff. And I still want to, but it's just a lot harder to do. And I must say, going to the office has been phenomenal for everything else in my life. I'm finally sticking to a routine like I've been wrenching myself to this entire time, and it's forcing me to value my free time even more. and I've been choosing to do other things with it than work on this channel, like hanging out with my family and friends, going to the gym, other stuff like that. Now, there still is room. I'm sure I could be more efficient and be making videos, but the long and short of it is that it can't be what I wanted it to be. Something has to change. It's like my time is now like a really tight puzzle. I gotta see if I can find the way to get more room for the stuff on this channel. I'm hoping I can upload this with minimal editing because I just wanted to talk. I'm also using a new camera. I hope it looks awesome. Thank you to my little brother for this, but I wanted to make clear that the whole reason you've heard anything from me online as Marcus or as Joseph is because we are living in a world where the story I told can be told, where someone's own family can deny them access despite information that we all have access to because the government is telling people what to think about their own healthcare decisions, where I'm regarded as a shut-in and an introvert and antisocial by my coworkers because I refused to go to headquarters because I wasn't comfortable sharing the information that might get me extra judgment from them. So, but that's where I am now. So that's why I'm calling this the birth and death of Marcus Edwards, because his birth was because of being closed off from others, because of my own personal choices in life, which I still stand by, let me make that clear. And the death of Marcus Edwards, the end of making videos on a regular basis, is because that stuff has been lifted. It's like, right now it's spring, but it feels like a spring after a 3-year-long winter where I can finally be myself again and be connected to others the way we should all want to be connected with others in life. With that, I want to add one more thing, which is the value of being able to speak your truth. And this is going to sound like another Jordan Peterson thing, and I did originally get it from him, but I want to make clear for everyone in the audience, if you are in a position like too many people were, where they couldn't make their own healthcare decisions, they couldn't speak their mind because they might lose their job, and if they lose their job, that would mean their kids don't eat. That means you are in a position in your life where speaking your own truth is not an option. And I am very happy that I am extremely frugal and I'm young and I'm single and I can afford to not have this wonderful job that I have. Now, I'm not gonna barge in and let everyone know that I don't have a little card that proves that, what does it even prove? That I took the injection that ended up serving up no purpose. Fine. But the point is, I feel so good internally. It's the type of thing where like you might lose friends over something and it might be a real bumpy road for a little while, but after speaking your truth, you end up feeling better. Your own soul is contained by keeping these things in. In fact, I would highly recommend anyone watching this, your phone's a probably good enough camera. You can film yourself, you can make your own YouTube videos, you can come up with your own pseudonym and start telling your own story the way you want to. So in conclusion, even right now, I don't know if I'm Joseph, I don't know if I'm Marcus. It doesn't much matter because they're becoming the same person again, because I'm allowed to talk about what I want, and I can hang out with friends and family, I can go to work like I'm supposed to and experience what work was like for generations prior to this pointless pandemic. And now we're back. So I don't know what's next. I had a lot of stuff filmed that I never put out there. I never made a video about my trip with my dad to Montana for fly fishing. That was incredible. I did a whole sleep challenge in January that I just never finished writing and editing, but I think that was pretty interesting because I think sleep is super duper important. February was supposed to be about fasting. I was gonna have a health topic each month, and I was also gonna try to throw wealth in there as well, so that it would be like fitness and finance together, but that sort of thing has fallen short because I chose instead to live my life instead of making content, and I think that was the right choice. We'll see how it goes. I miss creating. Behind me, I've got a piano. I don't know if it's visible, but tonight I'm gonna go out to the piano store and get the stand that I should have gotten initially with it, and then I'll welcome playing piano back into my life. So I'm starting to feel awkward about it being selfish, because I don't want you to be interested in me as a character. I want you to be interested in how your life can improve in the ways that I'm trying to demonstrate, so that, card full.
Dr. Fauci, give us vaccines, help all the people